Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be checking out a very strange space walking simulator, at least that's what I'm told, called Hippocampal the White Sofa by developer Free Gamer. Now, I don't honestly know much of what to expect about this. There are very few reviews about this game that I've seen. I haven't really been looking around on YouTube or anything for them, but I did at least check out some of the Steam stuff, and it seemed like there were about 2 reviews, both of which I couldn't really gather any kind of discernible opinion from. But the little bit I've seen as far as screenshots and such, this game looks really strange, and I don't know how to feel about it. So I figured let's start it up, we'll give it a shot, and see what we can see about Hippocampal. So this is our title screen. We've got a few options here. We've got play, videos, gameplay, freegamer.net, so apparently a web link on the main menu, and exit. So let's first click videos. I guess those are going to be cutscene videos, so we're not going to probably watch those since we haven't actually seen anything of the game yet. And gameplay explains to us what this game is about, so this is probably a good thing for us to figure out. So concept, Hippocampal is a satiric contemplative game. Satiric because we were mocking the hero game characters, movies, comic books, and video games we liked, and also the ones you like. Basically everything that tells you to be what you do not want to be. Everything that tells you to be what you do not want to be. I don't entirely understand that sentence. Contemplative because you just have to walk through this world, understand how it works, like you could spend some time having a second look at some things. Alright, so we're having a little trouble forming coherent sentences here. That's okay, I've seen this before. Perhaps English is not the developer's first language, that's fine. Let's just also look at this through the framework of the fact that this is a Steam game that is $5 right now to buy, so this is actually a paid game, unlike the vast majority of the games that I cover on this channel. So Hippocampal is structured to lose the player in a search for meaning and narration where there is none. Player can then make his own interpretation depending on his current feelings. We're simply giving player references. Doesn't mean anything to the player. Well, at least spend some time between smiles and observation. That's a very interesting thing to say, and one thing that I think a lot of artists won't come out and ever say explicitly. I'm not really sure how to feel about that. Story. You are an astronaut taking some time off in orbit, reminding your latest holidays. When suddenly coming from nowhere, some monsters crash into you and bring you back to Earth. What are you going to do? Taking revenge for this cosmic attack? Find ways to keep relaxing, prevent those creatures from attacking Earth. It all depends on the trauma of the crash, right? Alright, so then we've got some basic gameplay movement stuff, and system. You need to find 4 mandatory elements to finish the level. You need to find 3 secondary elements in each level to see the true ending. 3 different endings. Okay. Now, when it says finish the level, okay, I assume there's probably going to be a bunch of levels. So let's hit play. Let's do new game. So our new game progress will be deleted. Yes, let's do it. Alright, so these big old weird flying tentacle monsters with mechanical wings in their neck holes seem to be very upset with me for floating in space. I don't know why they all have P across their jackets like that. Maybe that stands for something, or maybe that's just one of those references that doesn't actually inherently mean anything. I guess that could be quite possible. So our astronaut comes tumbling back down, for some reason seems to stop in the air, and then crashes into the ground. Okay, so that's, I guess, a cartoon reference? Alright, so there's monitors on all the walls, says you just hit the ground. Wake up to prevent them from invading Earth. Attacked by aliens. Okay, so we're in our subconscious, I suppose, right now, which seems to look a lot like a weird factory with rainbows all over the walls. What's going on this wall? Where are Mr. Kurt C's possessions? So, okay, Kurt C is, I guess, our character. I understand that that's probably being silly and saying Kurt C. Okay, that's fine, I guess. And these seem to be our possessions. So there's an umbrella, a hat, like a tire, and a shovel, I guess? Let's go. Can we interact with these characters at all? Oh, they're huge. I didn't understand the sense of scale with them when they were in space. Okay, so there's not really any interaction. I guess I kind of probably expected that. Our controls, like you probably saw already, WASD to move around. Spacebar becomes hover up, and then to go back down, I believe we're actually going to have to use, look with our mouse and then up, if that makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you can use shift or anything to sync. It's reminding me a little bit of Echo Night Beyond, if nobody's ever heard of that one. It's an older game, I think for PS2, where you were exploring the moon and there were ghosts on the moon for some reason. You were an astronaut and it was very creepy and very dismal and dark and things. So I'm getting a little bit of a vibe of that. Also, of course, probably the mandatory Dead Space reference, although I'm not sure how applicable that actually is. Oh, it's gotten quiet over here. It seemed like there was a lot of hustle and bustle over in the other direction. So this being a UDK game, it's actually striking me as a little surprising. It's not the most filled with shaders or anything like that. And many of the UDK games that I've seen usually have a lot of highlights and various fancy-looking things going on. And, you know, there were no video options in this game whatsoever, which is a little bit disturbing to me, considering, well, you know, might not run well for everybody. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, I've triggered some sort of a cutscene, I suppose. That one seems to be leaving. The hole that those little wings go down into in their jacket seems like it's just not textured. If you look in there, it's just like, I think you can just see out the other side of them, which may or may not be intentional. Also, are there eyes down their neck holes? Can I see that? No, I think that's just the fastening, like rivets or something. So there's a bit of screen tearing and a little bit of issue with, like, jostling of things as I'm looking around, and these are probably issues that if I could have changed some of the visual options, that probably would be kind of an important thing to address. I'm also noticing, too, like, this is rendering at 1280 by 720 natively, and there doesn't seem to be any option to turn that up or down either. So if you have any issues with outputting to things like that, well, unless you can get in and maybe edit an INI file somewhere, it seems like you're just going to be stuck with default settings, and that's real lame. So what's going on under the floor here? Is there some reason why these colors are happening? Doesn't seem like it. I guess it's kind of, it takes all of the thunder away from the game, or the wind out of its sails, I guess, maybe a more appropriate metaphor, in that it gives you the information right up front that the references are meaningless. I would much rather have come to that conclusion on my own, because if I'm told that right away, obviously I'm going to start disregarding things instead of trying to attribute meaning to them. So I'd say that's kind of an intrinsic flaw in sort of starting out with a methodology like that. So why is everything shaking and intersecting with each other in sort of a janky way like that? See, these things just sort of hitting into each other, and there are actually some shadows coming off of these. But because everything is so broken up, it's like you can't really tell what's bouncing shadows off of what. Oh, that's kind of cool. As we look down, things are sort of vertically oriented and can't really tell which way is up. A little bit of that 4D element. So we probably want to head down. There seems to be a ramp over here. It's like holograms blazing around. I don't really know what their deal is. I can't tell if they're solid or not. I'm going to assume they're probably not, because I don't think I can actually die in this game. And I also have a strange sense of space around me, because it seems like I can see off into the distance in several different directions. But all of those directions seem to endlessly terminate in shadow, so I can't really tell what's solid structure. Oh my goodness, what is that? Some kind of shipping container just randomly shot out of a wall and seems to be intersecting with all the floors. So there's little wisps, I guess, hanging in the air. I guess we can follow those around, see if they lead anywhere. Remember, again, we're looking for Mr. Kurt C's missing possessions. Uh-oh. Oh, that's probably bad. You gonna crush me in the wall? No, okay, it didn't. I can't really run either, so it's not like I'm really going to be able to find my way around one of these corners a little bit faster. Oh, okay, the little lights seem to lead around, and there's an arrow pointing me over to the left, so we're gonna head over in that direction. Okay, sense of ambience, I suppose. Things definitely seem dire, and maybe a little bit scary or creepy. Oh, this is bad. You're really going to push me all the way back, huh? So not only am I not sure what I'm doing, but you're also going to waste my time. Okay, why don't we take the path of least resistance then, and we'll follow where the boxes are going, and then if anything, they'll just push me in the correct direction. The weird color palette of these rainbowy type designs that seem to be showing up all around the place seem to be... Oh, look at this texture on the ground. My goodness. I don't even know if you got a good chance. It's two textures are intersecting with each other, and we're not really sure which one's up. Oh, geez. I went all the way around for nothing, didn't I? Okay. Yeah, the whole framework of me talking about this game changes a lot once money becomes involved. This does seem quite a bit like the type of thing that I would run into on, like, freeindiegame.es if they were still a website. Oh, yeah, I was going to say this color palette reminds me a lot of, like, what you would see on... like a TV. If you look really close at the pixels, they seem to have this colorful but muted thing going on. Okay, get around the corner. Alright, I actually managed to get out of that one before the box pushed me around again. It looks like I will be handsomely rewarded with a slithering alien and an umbrella. So that's probably good news, right? Oh, look at this! Astronaut Man's so happy, and we're saving the game. Because I finally reached my treasured umbrella. Okay. So that problem's been solved. Where am I supposed to head to now? Oh. Are there more areas that I haven't seen yet? I can't tell where the boxes are going to come out and hit me, though. Not probably here. Oh, God, no. Don't do it. What a strange thing where, like, the biggest problem you're going to have is trying not to get hit by weird shipping containers and pushed backward into the game world. I'm waiting for the next one to come by so I can maybe get a little bit ahead. Also, I can't really get a good look at this astronaut character. It looks like they may have modeled it pretty well. Looks like the boxes are not happening over here anymore. The light has a cool lens flare coming out of it. There seems to be little jump jets coming out when I'm thrusting the astronaut in various directions with, you know, whatever those little fuel expulsions happen to be. But other than that, details in this game are very strange. It seems very mixed with what you're getting here. Like, this floor just kind of goes through that wall out the other side. I don't know if I should care about that. I probably should, just because it seems like it's not really wrapped up very well. Like, all of the modeling seems rather sloppy. And again, especially for a UDK game, very many times so much of them are wrapped up in packages that are sort of like prefabs. Well, I guess I should admire that they probably haven't used the prefabs, because I see that too often too. But they also, I don't know, the assets that are here are a little bit odd. Attacked by aliens. Oh, maybe I should investigate straight up a little bit more. Is there another direction that maybe I haven't headed in yet? This looks like a good one as any. It's just like a bunch of air conditioners just sitting in windows everywhere. It looks like there's probably stuff to see over there, but I can't really tell if there's a way through. I'm going to go ahead and say probably nothing much going on in this direction. What about this little room up here? Oh, they're having a board meeting, apparently. Oh, I guess they don't like me in here. Are you going to open a door or something for me? What's going on? The wiggling wire. Oh, he headed up. Maybe I should follow that. Pretty weird subconscious you got here. So it's going to matter a little bit how long this game is too, when we factor in value proposition. This is why I don't cover a lot of games that are paid, because then you get into a whole different world of trying to look at things objectively and, you know, factoring in value versus time and all of this stuff. And I like to just really look at the merits of the game itself and not have to consider, will you feel bad if you made a purchase of X game? And in this case, I'm not really sure how I feel just yet, but I'm leaning towards the probably don't make that decision unless you're particularly stricken by the esoteric behaviors and things on display here. What's going on? Where are we going? Oh, you flew really slowly in that direction, then flew straight down. Is this supposed to be a giant cityscape? Am I a massive man? Is it raining on the city? What's happening here? Why can I see through all the buildings? Do you have my possessions? Can I ride in that bucket? There's so many questions. I have questions everywhere. I still want to find my possessions, but all I can do is slowly follow behind everyone. Okay, what's going on down here? Oh, something a little different is happening. It looks like we found the party city from the Matrix. And maybe things are going to get a whole lot better. Oh, yeah. Alright, dance parties happen. I know that's a thing. Looks like we found my bucket. So we can add the bucket. Oh, I'm going to wear it on my head because I'm a silly man, I guess. To get the bucket, we've got the umbrella, and that clips right through my head. And the journey continues on. Now, I've got to find my tire and my shovel, I believe, were the other two items. And it says something about there being optional items as well, and multiple endings. Man, is like every single texture in this entire thing just this serrated metal? It's so strange. Alright, maybe over here, is there another path onward? Because it kind of looked like we were reaching a dead end in the other direction. Oh, okay. I don't know what those guys are doing in there. Seem to be making some sort of car horn sound. More air conditioners in the wall. Alright, what I'm guessing is probably happening is each time I find one of these items, some new path is going to open up. And I just need to figure out where the next place that I need to head on over to is. Oh my goodness. That's kind of a cool effect. I like when you can't remember which direction is up for a second or two. That can be, well, it's at least disorienting at the best, and I guess at worst it gives you motion sickness, so maybe not everybody's into that. Now, I'm going to assume there's probably some reason for me to go and explore all of these spaces. I would have a hard time believing that there's probably absolutely nothing in this space, because this is very large. Oh, can I go down through here? It looks like it's open, but I can't quite tell if there's a reason for it to be open. I think it just ends in floor. See, it's really hard to gauge depth perception also when you're dealing with, like, a serrated metal texture in all directions. You can't really tell what's solid anymore. It's all just sort of, everything's vibrating. You know, there's a moment of kind of a cool visual here looking down on this, like, almost cityscape thing, but it's, I don't know, it's rather mixed. It seems to be snowing or raining very hard now, too. Man, I really don't even know what to make of this whole thing. It's one of the most confusing games that I've looked at on this. I almost don't have an opinion. It seems like it should be free, but I don't mean to disparage the developers for feeling that way or anything. I'm sure there's probably some vision here. I just wish I was maybe let in a little bit more on it, other than that they kind of openly stated that they don't really have a goal for you to feel or think about. And I question what the point of a satirical game is when the statement that you're making is, well, we have no statement, but we're also skewering things, but I'm not really sure exactly why or where that vitriolic feeling comes from. So it's a mixed message, I guess, is what I'm getting. Like, it doesn't seem like they've really figured out what they want to say, because they're saying nothing and everything at the same time. Is there another set of lights over here that I missed? Wake up to prevent them from invading Earth. And it said that I had options about how I react to things, but I feel like right now all I'm really doing is exploring a bit of a maze. Oh, did I try going up here? Maybe there's no ceiling. Ah, maybe this is the next path. My apologies for how incredibly disorienting this must be, because I don't even know exactly where I'm going. Alright, so this seems to be the next place. All the aliens have the exact same model, too. I would have wished that they would have had maybe some diversity going on. So it seems to me like the models, like the amount of assets that are involved in this game, there's like the astronaut, a few effects, this one texture, this enemy with a variety of animations, or, you know, alien, I don't know if it's an enemy, and then like the objects that I'm supposed to find and these little scrolling things, and that seems to be most of it. And then there's a few little videos interspliced between things where we have our astronauts doing various actions for one reason or another. So I guess we were supposed to notice that shovel up in the window there. So we were sitting in the big cityscape area. So that's 3 out of the 4 of these. I don't know where the next... Oh, that just opened, didn't it? Maybe it's going to lead me in that direction now? That'd be fantastic. I would really like to see if there's more beyond just this labyrinth. I'm going to sincerely hope that there is. Otherwise, this is going to be a very difficult value proposition. But it did say something that it sort of led me to believe that there will be levels, not just this one area. Am I going back down the way I came? I can't even tell. I'm so lost. It's also very dark here, and I'll probably try and boost this up in post a little bit. Thinking that this is where I started, because I think that these lights were on the other side by the beginning. Because just sitting on a bench. Oh, it's supposed to be like a swing set, I guess. Wouldn't it kind of take some of the mystique out of a painting if they were like, yeah, I painted this thing, it's like very obviously a reference to a bunch of things, but it has no meaning. So if you look at it, and you bring any references to it, that's all on you, buddy. Like, I had no agenda in what I was trying to paint. I don't know, it's like I kind of want to learn a little bit about the story of whoever made this creation based on the narrative that they want to put forward, but if they kind of cop out of putting forward a narrative, it makes me wonder how I feel about that, you know? Like, it's not really obvious then what direction your mind would want to go in, or if it even would go in a direction, and then it seems sort of frustrating. Anyway, I think I'll wrap this video up because it seems like I'm starting to go around in circles in both a verbal sense and a literal physical sense as I walk around this space. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to head next. Seems like a bit of a shame that I didn't find the next object just because I wanted to see if there was more, but at the same time, how different would it be, I guess, is the big question. So I'll have to maybe play this a little bit more beyond just this video, and maybe I can let you know in the comments if I found anything particularly world-changing or soul-shattering or anything fantastic like that. So with that, we will head out for another day. Thank you everybody for watching, as always. Let me know what you think about that whole little conundrum that I was finding myself in the comments. I'd like to hear your opinions on what you think about art and statements and the anti-statement that is this statement, I suppose, and where you kind of fall on that scale of if that's relevant to you, or if you care, or if you're able to just take in the scenery and be okay with it, or if you want to add into the element of what value proposition means to you when you're looking at a game with this sort of a message behind it. I'd love to hear your opinions on all that stuff. That's all really interesting to me, and those are the kind of discussions that I enjoy having quite a bit in the comments. So, you know, let me know all that stuff. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like. It helps me out a bunch. And, of course, be sure to come back again tomorrow because new episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day. So I look forward to seeing you again for another one. Hundreds more indie games to come and that have already been looked at. So if you want to go find more, there are plenty of links in the description, as well as the link to this game if you want to go investigate it on Steam yourself. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic night. Talk to you later.